Don't be vulnerable. That's the message in today's video. Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Ann Homick, and I welcome you today to WSOS. I know that sounds like a radio station. What side of stubborn? So I welcome you to today's video. I am announcing some changes for 2021. Nothing major, just a little bit of shifting and changing how I want you to look at your brain. But this YouTube channel, well, it's in my name, but I was calling it Brain Snob. But I'm going to let the brain snob go away on the video end, and we are going to be WSOS, what side of stubborn? Because everything I talk about in my videos, all the questions I pose to you about your health revolves around picking the side you want to stand on. The side of health compared to the side of subtle damage, compared to the side of misinformation, compared to the side of disappointments when you've done everything the other healthcare practitioners have told you to do. So, what side of stubborn? You do have to make a stance. Take a stance. And you have to decide. And sometimes it takes a while to get the information, enough information, so you say, I'm not going to be on this side before. This is what I grew up with. These are the ideas that were taught to me, but now I am my own person and I am changing my mind, and I'm going to show different results only when I do something different. And you know that saying, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and getting the same result, being disappointed in the result because you wanted something else. So I'm not going to go deeply into that, but I am inviting you to set aside things that aren't serving you anymore, and that is the new name for this video, what side of stubborn. So the topic for today is don't be vulnerable, because that's all you hear about in the media. The mainstream media says you're vulnerable if you're elderly, you're vulnerable if you're living in a nursing facility, you're vulnerable if you're over 60. Now you're vulnerable if you're over 50. I'm not gonna even go there. Some people are vulnerable, whether it's because of their age or health conditions, maybe even their mental capacity. And I'm talking about different populations in nursing homes and group homes and those types of living situations. We got that covered. We want everybody who's vulnerable to be more aware that they're vulnerable so they can do different things. So I am asking you not to make yourself vulnerable. And you can't turn back the hands of time. If you are of a certain age, let's just put it out there. So what? If you are a certain age, I don't care. If you have been to my office, you know I make a handout called Dr. Lisa Lingo, the words that are not allowed in my office, and aging is one of those words. I have made a video about it. You got to scroll way down to the bottom to try to find it, or do a search. I'll try to find it when I post the details to this video. So Dr. Lisa Lingo, I do not allow the word aging in my office. It's a number, but we do know if you're older, you've had more time on this earth to accrue toxins and get them stored in your body. So let's get rid of those toxins. Let's detoxify. Let's be more cognizant of how easy it is to actually get the toxins in. And how we can get those toxins out. Very important for your vulnerability. So to help people understand they don't have to be vulnerable, I have revamped my BFA template. I think I called it the map for the healing journey, and I tell everybody, get your map, because you always need a map when you are forging ahead on a trip or a journey. So it's also called the BFA template. What is BFA? BFA is brain first always. So I just made a little bit of change because it's a new year, new ideas, new energy. That's what I hope you have for 2021. But get a copy of this. I can email it to you, or you can get it in the office, and I may even put this on the blog later on. So now that I've said it out loud, I have to hold myself to it. But at the top it says EBI. I want you to be aware of EBI. And what is that? Everyday brain injury. You've heard of TBI, traumatic brain injury. And most people think, well, I don't have a concussion, I didn't hit my head, I don't have to worry about TBI. But you do have to worry about EBI, everyday brain injury. Because these are the subtle things that build up over time that make your healing less efficient. And you can have brain impairment that's going to affect how you are dealing with illness or sickness or detoxification events, whatever you want to call it. But if your state of health at the time of your injury is going to impact how well you heal from the injury. Your state of health at the time of a sickness is going to impact how well you recover from a sickness. So I want you to understand that when things happen subtly over time, the CCS, the combination of cumulative stresses, that's going to affect your ability to bounce back. That's your resilience factor. And I encourage people to learn about these everyday brain impairments, the EBI, everyday brain injury. And I will say injury because death by 1,000 cuts, it's going to affect you eventually. Why not start now, learn about it, and prevent it? So there's 5 unwanted adaptations that you can address through lifestyle, and that's here on the BFA template. The 5 adaptations. So everything is an adaptation. Everything is working in your benefit, in your body, in order to help your survival and to help you get through stress. Unfortunately, we take it the wrong way and assume we have symptoms that we have to get rid of. But no, they're adaptations. They're helping you out. We can work with the body or we can work against the body. But if you have an unwanted adaptation, we call that a symptom. If you don't like it, you've got to learn from it so you can take care of it in a nurturing manner rather than doing something that's harmful. And sometimes we do a lot of things that help us, and I use the term help loosely, that help us ignore the real problem because we have an obvious problem and we have an underlying problem. And when we only focus on what's obvious, the underlying gets ignored and builds up in your body, doing more damage. I feel like I'm talking very fast today. I don't know why, but I guess I've got that 2021 energy, that new energy for the beginning of the year. Those 5 unwanted adaptations. Now, I don't want to confuse you. Yes, they're adaptations. They are helping you. They're logical and they're functioning appropriately to help you get through a stress. If you call it unwanted, then you have an opportunity. So the 5 unwanted adaptations: stiff sore joints, high blood pressure, digestive distress, fatigue and or shortness of breath with the fatigue, and also the 5th one, brain fog and being anxious about the brain fog. 5 simple things. Everybody is dealing with one at least every day of their lives. Every day of their life. Sorry about the grammar and the preposition problem there, but I also offer you BrainSense telehealth for self-discovery sessions so you can sort this all out. So what is BrainSense telehealth? It is the coaching side of my business where you get to figure out and evaluate how you're functioning at the 4 functional levels of the nervous system. And they are self-discovery sessions because nobody else can heal you. You can heal yourself, and you can learn how to do the things that boost your healing. So it's only going to come from you. So it's requiring you to look deeply, introspectively at the issues that we have to deal with. So if you've got my BFA template, my updated version for 2021, I have a list of some basic things you need to understand to help yourself get out of the rut that you're in. So I'm not going to talk about all of these because you have access to these, but they're the typical ones. There's everyday stressors and things like being more toxic, not being able to get rid of the toxins, maybe even not knowing what the toxins are that you're exposed to, nutritional deficiencies, not getting good enough rest, not getting the proper exercise. These are lifestyle things, but you can go into them into more specific detail by reviewing this list. And how do we work through these lifestyle issues? We do three things. We move the brain, we feed the brain, we talk to the brain. There's different steps in each one of those categories. So moving the brain is, of course, is chiropractic care and other activities that help you move appropriately so you don't have dysfunctional movement, so you don't have resistant movement. Feed your brain, we're going to get the good stuff in, get the bad stuff out. That's the short version. And talking to your brain is how you handle stress mentally. How do you make your decisions, your daily decisions that impact if you're going to handle stress well or handle stress poorly, because we don't want that reprogramming the nervous system, so the nervous system is constantly firing in a way that's not proactive for your needs. But everything your body does is to help with its survival, and sometimes it gets overwhelmed, and sometimes it's giving you signals that are too much for the situation. Remember Goldilocks and the Three Bears? The chair was too big, the other chair was too little, and now Goldilocks finds the chair that's just right. We don't want too much nervous system, and we don't want too little nervous system. We want the right amount of nervous system activity to keep our brains functioning, to keep our body and our organs functioning. And that's all I want to say today's video episode, because I want to introduce to you WSOS, the new name for the video. Also, I still have Brain Snob episodes in a podcast format, so you can still listen to Brain Snob podcasting, and that's on a different internet format, but you can find it on my website. And then there's also what's continuing on the YouTube channel. That is about it for today's video. Let me check my notes. But remember, no one can heal you, but you can learn how to become the best self-healer. And it does take a little bit of work. It's meaningful. It's rewarding. And if you're doing it with somebody else, it's even more meaningful and rewarding. And I'm on that journey with you. I want to heal well, and I want to heal efficiently. So I'm going to share my experiences with you, my story, and you can fill in the blanks with your story as well. Remember, we want to have a well-balanced healing protocol. Half healthy is still half sick, and half a solution is still half a problem. So check out the other videos, check out the podcast, look at the webpage, createpurpose.com, and when you've got a question, give me a call and I can point you in the right direction with some BrainSense telehealth self-discovery sessions. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I got a lot of energy today.